Welcome back to Culture Worldwide Champions League Edition, and what a week it's been. Covering all the goals, all the controversy, the tactics, we have it all here on this very episode. I'm Fabrizio.
Gabe.
Marco.
And we're all back. Back in this very special edition, and what a week it's been, guys. I just, all the games this week, absolutely delivered. But, where should we start? Should we start with the crazy hectic game with Real Madrid and Manchester City? Or with the controversial game? Actually, you know what? I want to go with the controversy. Barcelona.
So why'd you ask us?
We're flip-flopping here. It's just been a crazy week. Barcelona and PSG. And PSG really got lucky here, I would say. Right,
I wouldn't say lucky in terms of the footballing part, but of the refereeing part, yes.
Yeah, no. I mean, we were watching the game together, and
were we?
And you were on your phone.
No,
you were on your phone, and I was staring at the TV screaming because, well, first off, Xavi got it wrong. I don't know what his strategy was in this game, but
I don't think it's necessarily his fault, though. I think it all came down to individual player mistakes. Yeah. And obviously, as a coach, you're not going to blame your own players. You're going to say the ref made a mistake. But
the card wasn't a red.
No, listen.
I think absolutely it was a red card.
Really?
No, okay. No, I don't think absolutely.
I don't think
absolutely.
Too.
It was at the same time. It's a goal scoring opportunity.
No,
even if the slightest touch, he falls on the floor.
That's the thing. It's not. Even if it was a dive, I still think it's a red because according to the rules, he was the last player.
That's what
threw on goal.
But it wasn't.
But the thing is, I don't think Araujo should have done that at all. He should have. Well, he should have let him try to shoot.
Gundogan came out in the press conference and he literally blamed Araujo because of the loss. He said it was his fault. Now, I don't think it was a red because I get it's the last man, and it was a foul because you have to understand, we see it on TV in a different way, and actually when it's live, it's actually 100 miles per hour. It was a foul, but it's not a red card because he just used his shoulder. If he uses his legs and takes him out, it's a clear red.
The foul looked delayed to me. To me, that was a dive.
It was Barcola,
the slightest contact, he falls on the floor. You telling me a player of that caliber has no balance at all?
Listen, that's how the sport is.
Do you think Xavi should have taken out Yamal?
Yeah.
No.
I got it wrong.
I know he's the youngest player in the field. I get it. But that doesn't mean he's not the best player.
He was
Rafinha
still one of
was
the
their best player.
But the problem was just how he had to change up his whole game plan because of the red card. I still think it was a stupid decision. I think it was a nervous decision by Araujo because you could still trust your keeper to even save the shot. And even if he scored, you're still a goal up. Barca was still a goal up. They're still in the game. They had the advantage. They started off better.
That challenge wasn't as dumb as the next challenge we should talk about. But obviously we get into that throughout the half.
But I do think, let's talk more about the football inside. I mean, Barca, you got players like Gundogan, Lewandowski, Frankie de Jong, Koundé. They got really good players, but the team doesn't seem to click. I think there's a chemistry problem.
It's not just the chemistry. I don't really see a leader in Barcelona.
I don't either.
Lewandowski is not a Barca player.
Apart from Ter Stegen, I don't see any.
Barca and PSG kind of have similar, there's no chemistry. There's no leader in any one of their teams, and nobody really cares. That's what I get from both teams. Now, I do think PSG got lucky because had Barca not gotten that red,
game for sure.
It would have been a different game.
Barca would have won.
And Barca, at least, they have the championship mentality. And despite getting 2 goals, I know I'm the Mbappe hater, but I said he would turn up. And in a way, he did, but that red card not happened, he was not playing that well.
I'm an Mbappe fan too, but penalty, rebound.
He was marked out most of the game.
The main 2 guys for PSG, apart from Luis Enrique, who I think is a great coach, by the way. So I think he's got PSG playing really well, actually. It's Ousmane Dembele, who, apart from, he's only had 1 goal this season before the Barca game. So
of course he turns up.
Yeah, he turns up. And the other one's the most underrated player was Vitinha. I think he was actually the best player in both legs. Fabian Ruiz did well. I think you have to give PSG some credit. The way they moved the ball in the midfield. they did pretty well. So at the end of the day,
let's talk about the other challenge. Listen,
that Cancelo challenge, it was so stupid. But
I think it was really
stupid. I forgot who said it, but like in that moment, you don't really know what goes through your head. It's it's an instinct. I get that, but Cancelo, you're so experienced. Come on.
He was never known to be a great defender.
Dembele was going out. Why?
Why did Guardiola get rid of him?
Henry described like the situation perfectly because at that
Henry,
point,
yes.
Dembele was already going away
to go
away from the goal.
Why?
And in that situation, you don't even need to make the tackle. All Dembele has to do is put his foot in front so he could get hit.
It's a psychological thing.
But you know,
and
also Dembele is a type of player. He's gonna dive, and like that's gonna help the fact that he clipped me and everything.
You gotta be.
But why are you touching him?
The reason why I say it's a psychological thing is because Guardiola is right about Cancelo. He's not a good defender, and he loses his head all the time.
Yeah.
There, he was already losing his head because Barca were already out of the game, red card, all this. He didn't have to do that, and he cost his team again. And that's why I think Cancelo, for me, is one of these people might hate me for this, one of the most overrated
I was just about to say that.
in the world.
I was just about to say that because
there's a reason why Juve, Inter, Man City get rid of him.
He always goes to a high-profile team because he has all the attributes. He's fast.
Attacking.
Portuguese. Yeah.
Bayern Munich
but in today's
got rid of
game, even that the fullbacks do a lot more attacking now, you have to still be able to defend. You have to still be well-rounded.
And he's not a good defender.
And listen to your coach. Because Cancelo does not strike me as a guy that follows the game plan whatsoever.
No.
I mean, clearly he does not. And Barcelona, once again, they're out. And I mean, nobody really favored them to win, right?
After the first
the whole thing.
they surprised me.
Yeah.
You gotta give credit.
I think they had a fair shot.
You gotta give credit to the left side of PSG. Barcola and Mendes.
Underrated players.
Mendes
both legs. Mendes
is a great player.
Both legs. Bro.
But even what's his name? Marquinhos has been brilliant. I mean, I think for seasons now.
Listen, all credit to Cancelo. In a way, this is kind of revenge for the last
PSG,
because a couple years ago in 2016, Barca got the favoritism from the refs.
It is true. It is true. It's a karma.
Yeah, but now PSG, despite getting a bit lucky with that red card.
They were the better team.
They were the better team, and they got the job done.
They took advantage.
Because some teams, they get reds, and they don't take advantage of it.
Something I was wrong about Barca going through, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
No, it is. That's football.
It changed. It definitely changed the game. I think it would have been a lot closer. Barcelona had a pretty good chance to get through, but they took advantage.
Now, speaking about that's football, Dortmund and Atletico, we called this wrong.
Another one.
Listen, I was backing Atletico to go, but
I think everyone.
First of all, this was terrible football on both sides. This was just back and forth.
You can call it terrible defending on both sides.
I did not expect Atletico to
Dortmund on the attacking. Dortmund on the attacking phase, they did really well.
I mean, Atleti did come back. With these teams, it was like they have heart, but in some moments they kind of just they throw their game plan out the window, and it becomes like who's got a bigger team.
I want to say one thing about Atletico. A question for all three of you, because at work I asked this guy. Should Simeone go?
Yes. 100%.
Is this the end of an era?
Bro,
I love him, but I think it's done.
Yes.
It's every season.
Who else is going to coach that team?
There's so many other guys that
who wants to coach Atletico?
Think about it. Scaloni on Argentina is going to leave.
Bro.
He's a great coach. Put him on Atletico.
Does he want to coach? If you were a coach, would be like Atletico?
Yes.
That's
yes. Yes. Yeah. They have great players.
He plays like Mourinho. This counterattacking football, and it's just so stupid.
Think about
defend counterattack. Why?
If you were
I understand. I mean, but that Dortmund did the exact same thing.
If you were the manager, a free agent, right, and you look at your team sheet. Oh, I got Griezmann, Depay, Morata, DePaul.
I understand.
You got great players.
And you're making a good point. Yeah, I do agree. But who's going to coach them? Who wants to coach Atletico Madrid? Be like, hey, guys, I'm a free agent. Yeah, Atletico Madrid's the team for me. I want to fix Atletico Madrid. Nobody. You know who maybe? I might see that. I don't know if he would. But... Yeah.
Really cool.
I
I
knew it. He would. Honestly.
I knew it.
Honestly. I mean, he plays kind of similar honestly,
better.
Listen,
He's a little better.
he's like Simeone, but better.
We need to get credit to one player on Atletico, Angel Correa. Bro,
He did good.
He
The
came
moment
on.
he came on.
Totally different game. Totally different
No,
game.
but guys, Morata right in front of the net.
Yeah, that chip.
Like how? How do you miss that?
You know, I always back him. I always back him.
It's just
but
a poor. Like Correa came in, and this is what I like about Correa compared to Morata. He has balls. He comes in and he made the defenders their pants.
Morata's like Lukaku. He'll either win you the game or completely lose you the game.
I mean, look,
right?
But Atletico Madrid, they rotate. Listen, that's on the coach too, because Atletico Madrid rotates their strikers. Morata was not the right guy for this game.
Yeah,
but he has been carrying them in the league.
No, but
yeah,
he'll either win the game or lose the game.
I understand why he put him there.
Yeah.
As soon as Morata missed his shit, I mean.
But we do have to give Dortmund some credit, and the guy I want to
absolutely
a guy I want to talk about is the biggest turnaround of the season is Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
I mean, to go from Man United, not even getting selected, getting dropped to the U21s, now going to Dortmund, I think it's a slap in the face to Ten Hag because Ten Hag doesn't even know how to use certain players. Sancho, I always rated him one of England's best talents, and not only that. Like Dortmund in general, they have great players. Like
they do.
Julian Brandt is brilliant. Marco Reus is on the bench. Sabitzer is I've always rated him.
I will still say Atletico Madrid on paper they had the better team.
But what about
Adeyemi? Of course.
What about Adeyemi?
Yeah.
Füllkrug, he's old, but he puts the ball in the net.
The header was insane.
Look, I just want to say one thing. Both teams kind of played the exact same way. This was basically a battle of will and heart. And Dortmund won that battle. So you got to give it to them.
Look, they have Haller on the
Will this
bench,
carry them? Because right now, in the semis, they're versing PSG. I think it's winnable because PSG really do not. It doesn't seem like they give a shit.
I think still Atletico should be very disappointed. And I know, like
very
you're saying with Simeone, they wouldn't be where they are today without him. He's transformed the club.
Oh, yeah,
but this was a must-win game for the entire season. I think they had like the best draw they could have had in getting Dortmund, but the
best route to the final.
Once Haller scored that goal, it changed the tide completely. They needed to get the
Atletico,
job done at home.
This is to my point. I don't want to bring this game up again, but I'm telling you, if that game against Inter, they got lucky. You have to be honest.
No. We're not going there.
They won on a penalty shootout.
That's not luck. Inter, for the squad they had, they absolutely blew that game.
No, I blame a lot on them, but I'm saying Atletico Madrid.
Do not
this is
mention
it's
them.
because you're a Juve
No, it's not because I'm a
but
fan. It's because Inter are trash and are disgrace.
But I said this from the beginning.
Yeah, they're in first place.
I said this from the beginning.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid.
Dortmund would have beat them.
A little bit of luck.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It was a little bit of luck. You can't say it was like, they deserve to beat.
Did they get bad calls in that game? That's the only way you could say they're unlucky. No, they lost because they suck and they can't finish.
Inter couldn't get the job done at home, and Atletico, everyone knows they're incredible at home.
Yeah.
They were home the second leg. They took advantage. Inter couldn't finish. They couldn't kill the game off.
But
that game happened.
That's in the past.
Listen,
Atletico Madrid is just a home team.
They just blew it.
They're not good away from home.
Speaking of a tough game, I want to talk about a tough game that happened, and I called it wrong. I mean, honestly, it was pretty obvious. Everybody did. I just thought, because Bayern were looking weak, but Arsenal versus Bayern.
No, I called it right.
I called it right the first time.
I called it wrong.
You said we all did.
No, I said you guys all called it right. Listen, Arsenal, for the squad that they had, they did put up a fight. You have to give them credit.
They were always going to put up a fight.
You have to think about this is the best.
People thought they were just going to get destroyed.
This is the best Arsenal in years.
And this
is the worst Bayern in years.
And they still won.
But Arsenal do lack a goal scorer. I mean,
that's what Arteta said.
Yeah,
they don't have a goal scorer.
They had that. They would have won. I think.
No, if they had like a Osimhen, maybe. But the thing is about Bayern Munich is the maturity, the experience. Exactly. It was always going to happen. Leroy Sané is a very weird player because he has some games where you're like, wow, this guy really is top 5 wingers in the world. And then some days you're just like, this guy sucks.
The second leg, though, he did.
No, yeah. But like,
pretty well.
Musiala, Kane.
Bayern's another. This is a trend, and this is how money killed football. A lot of these teams are actually, despite all the names on their sheet, they really do not play up to standard. Why? Because there's no chemistry. Bro. It's like on Ultimate Team when you play FIFA. Bro. The players don't link. Nobody has heart.
This is modern football.
But
and that's why the game has come
Bayern,
back.
Bayern Munich also have Thomas Tuchel as their coach. He's got to go. Everyone knows that.
Although he is there was a stat. He's one of the only coaches to make the semifinal of the championship.
I don't think it's even the coach. I think as a coach now in the modern game, you come in, you go to a coaching school, or you have previous experience. You look at the sheet and like, wow, I have all these players. Because Tuchel didn't get all these players. He went into the squad already. You know, he may have gotten some, yes, and you're like, what do I do? All these players are good, but you can't play this player with this. You can't. These players don't connect well. What system am I going to run?
That's
what happened with Allegri.
No, that's a good example because think about this.
Yeah.
Bayern brought in the best defender in the year in Serie A last year, Kim.
Yeah.
They have De Ligt, Upamecano.
Yeah.
And then they sometimes even play Goretzka at center back.
And what do you do?
And Dyer. And they don't even use Kim.
Yeah.
Kim, they don't.
He might go back
Kim
now.
And also, all these players, they got to learn another language. It's the money killed the game.
That's always been a thing.
No. But now it's you got players. How many players from Bayern are actually from Germany?
Muller, Goretzka, Kimmich.
Yeah, but but still,
Musiala.
You got mad players.
Our friend told he said that he read a comment that Kane is the reason of the downfall of Bayern because they always want to go to him and he's the main man. But no, I think that narrative is good for Ronaldo and Juve.
Yeah,
but Kane,
no, I disagree with that.
Kane is the guy not only to score, he'll be the guy to assist you. Yeah,
no, Bayern exactly needed Kane. Exactly. It's just none of the players don't connect well.
I think it's Tuchel.
It's Tuchel as well.
Because bro,
they were.
If Nagelsmann was there,
different
story.
Tuchel is. I don't like it. Even PSG. I know
I never liked his style of play.
I know he won with Chelsea, but come on, that was.
I mean, look. I don't want to blame it on the manager. The fact is, the money killed the game. There's so many players. You know, having an all-star team doesn't always guarantee you the win.
No. But one thing about Arsenal, and if you're an Arsenal fan and you're watching this, please humble yourself. I have to stop. Kree and I were talking about this. These Arsenal fans, they're just when they do well, they think they're the best team in the world. Oh, this
you should listen to your because you do.
No.
What?
I don't think
best team in the world.
I'm the one that said.
I mean, look, it's not just Arsenal.
Because you're a Juve fan, we argue with you.
It's Premier League. It's not just Arsenal. It's the Premier League fans because they think because they're the best league in the world supposedly.
But Arsenal were top of the league, Champions League, and they were saying they were going to win everything. Get the out of here. You're not going to win anything.
What about Bukayo Saka? What about Bukayo Saka? He didn't really do much to 2 legs.
No, he didn't. And he's their main man.
I'm not saying he didn't do anything, but he should have been. A little bit.
Look, Premier League is not the best league. I said it last week to give them some karma. And look what happened. No, they have one team left in European competition.
If you're a City fan or even a Liverpool fan, I'd understand saying being confident that you have a good chance of winning a trophy.
For Arsenal,
not that they gave a disappointing performance. I still think they
No, you got to give it to them. They
did put up a good fight considering this is the first quarterfinal in a while.
And they lost by a goal.
And they only lost
you gotta give them some credit, but
they don't have that experience, and the fans can't be
that chemicals
saying let's
one last question.
I was gonna say about the goal though.
Yeah,
it's a simple, basic thing. Stop the cross. You stop the cross.
Oh yeah,
and Henri pointed it out.
Oh,
Tomiyasu and I think it was Martinelli. It's a miscommunication. You just Martinelli doesn't have to be in the box. That's Tomiyasu's man. Simple.
But that was
it's
Ben
basic.
White, bro. Ben White did not press
Guerrero. No, him too, but it's basic defending.
One last question. I want to close it off. Was this more Bayern underperformed, or was it Arsenal? They did.
No. Remember what I said in the first game?
They played good.
Bayern had the players to win you games.
Yeah.
Arsenal don't.
But should have this been a distraction? Should have this been a distraction? But was it that Arsenal played good, pretty decent enough, or did Bayern underperform?
Bayern underperformed.
Yeah. But look who scored. Kimmich. These players, they have players to win you games. Arsenal don't. They have Jesus up top. He's not going to score you 35
And not many players want to play for Arsenal anyway. So they're never going to get that player.
I don't know, man.
Well, the last game, and this was a crazy one. The two best teams in the world. Was it a beautiful display of football? No. But that doesn't always win you games. Now, you could say Manchester City played better, not by much.
I don't think they played better. I don't.
First said they did.
I did, but I watched the game again. They didn't.
No, I say Real Madrid. They did what they had to do. They had the experience. Ancelotti got it. You know, he was like, sit back, just wait them for tire out, and they went to penalties and they won.
There's one question I have: is football only about attacking?
No, it's not.
Exactly. That's it.
That was a defensive masterclass.
There's two things I want to
point out. The defendant won you the game.
Yeah.
So they played a great game.
Exactly.
I agree.
But there's two things I want to point out. One, people are saying Bellingham did nothing overrated. Two,
what?
They're saying Haaland did nothing overrated.
That is true.
No.
Not the overrated. He did nothing.
But
not the overrated.
But it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
It's Pep's ideology, bro.
I understand. I understand.
How can you play in a system where 78 possession, knock from wide player to Grealish to the other guy, boom, 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 never using the striker.
Ancelotti knew this. And now he has some players. Rodrigo, Vinicius are getting better. You know, and Bellingham did not play bad. He did what he had to do.
I hate that.
I thought he had a good
Whoever
game.
said that is an idiot and a moron.
Bro, he's 20 years old.
Most people don't know about football.
He's 20 years old.
You wanna know the difference of
He did what he had to do.
I'm gonna tell you the big difference that separated Real Madrid from Manchester City, apart from the defendant, blah blah blah. It's the experience off the bench of the low caliber players. Yes. Lucas Vasquez is class. Nacho, honestly, this guy needs to be talked about way more. Nacho Fernandez is top 10 center backs in the world. The guy locked down Haaland, Foden, Silva.
But it's not
he did
just that.
Everything.
It's the Real Madrid players. They actually enjoy playing together. I don't get that vibe from the Manchester City players.
You know what I saw online? Wait, what were you saying?
No, it's true. And you know what's funny? Speaking of like the experience, Modric didn't even start either. No. So you still get extra experience off the bench. And Ancelotti, he can trust these young guys to start.
But you know what's online?
Toni Kroos was brilliant.
You look at the penalties. Look at like let's say Bernardo's penalty, bro. He was so anxious to take that penalty. He missed the penalty. Bellingham, he kept his eyes focused on the ball. He even looked at the ref once. Goal.
And you know also what it is? It really is football heritage. Yeah. Because you as a player, you'd feel honored to play for Real Madrid. Even the logo, the crown. Like, you feel... And the players trust each other. This is a team of champions.
It's a responsibility.
Manchester City is a corporate team.
Yeah.
You know? If you are our player, do you feel pride playing for Manchester City?
If you say yes, you're lying.
You're lying. You pay for the check.
Unless you're Yaya, I believe it.
But,
or Aguero, that's
but the thing is, like, Jude Bellingham is 20 years old.
He's the greatest player in the world. Yeah, no.
He's not even 24. He's 20 years old.
This is what's going to happen. And maybe an early prediction. Jude Bellingham will win the Ballon d'Or by the end of the year. He'll be the youngest player to win the Ballon d'Or.
Why not?
You know? Tied with Ronaldo, R9.
Honestly speaking...
And Real Madrid's going to win the Champions League.
If he wins Champions League, tell me one person that deserves it more than him.
No one.
Everyone's going to be like, it's not him, but...
Messi again?
They'll find some reason. He'll win the MLS Cup and they'll give it
by votes.
You know what? I noticed something the commentator said during the game, though. He said something along the lines of, like, Man City, they're a scary team to play against, but playing at the Etihad, you're not. You're not fearful. The atmosphere. Even Real Madrid being backed up into their own box, parking the bus, they're taking all this pressure. Everyone's saying, "Oh, this isn't football. You're parking the bus." They score one goal. Manchester City, they do all this passing, they get all this possession, only for one goal.
But here, watching this game, I think. When it came down to the players and the way they played, it was a tough game. These are clearly the two best sides in the world. It was unlucky that Manchester City and Real Madrid had to play this early in the competition. But at the end of the day, it was a battle of managers. When it came down to everything was even. And I think it's clear. It's clear that Ancelotti is the better manager.
He's the best coach of all time.
But look what
in my opinion, he's the best coach of all time.
Look what Jude said after the game. Yeah. He gives you freedom. But Guardiola is more like...
Guardiola is a great coach, but he killed the game.
Yeah.
And now he's at a point in his career where he can't really do much anymore.
I have to be honest.
He peaked.
He can.
We didn't talk about one very important thing. Lunin, the goalkeeper.
Oh my God.
I have to say, this is a brilliant story. Goes to Real Madrid, third choice keeper, loaned out many times. Courtois is injured. You play in one of the biggest games of your career. City's targeting him as a weak point on the corners. They're always trying to score off the corners because they saw it as a weak point.
But
He steps up, saves 2 penalties, man of the match display.
I mean, look,
the whole both legs is fantastic.
Again, football heritage. Real Madrid. No, even if you're a reserve player, you have to be really good. I will even say this: most of the reserve players on Real Madrid, most of the youth, obviously, because you're looking 20 years old, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius, they can start be a starting 11 in almost any other team.
And man,
and be the best player.
Rodrigo is world class.
World class. Him and Vinicius.
I like Vinny, but Rodrigo
should play second in the Ballon d'Or. Foden third.
Yeah,
big game.
Actually,
he always steps up.
Can we all agree? Can we all agree? I'm sorry, Van Dijk, but Rudiger's the best defender in the world.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
But De Bruyne,
De Bruyne
for City, it could have won in the game if it wasn't.
No, he's brilliant.
I don't think these players deserve to play for Manchester City. I think these players deserve to play for actually Real Madrid.
No, De Bruyne. I have to say, De Bruyne's the only player I saw that I was like, you know what?
He was putting in work.
He's just phenomenal.
Listen,
but I have to say, the most underrated player in the world, the most complete player in the world, the best player on the field besides Lunin, bro, Valverde is just...
Bro.
I can't even describe, like, this guy runs back and forth. He's great at shooting. He's great at passing. He's great at defending. He's the most complete player in the world.
Rodgers had a good game despite missing the penalty for a 39-year-old. That's,
But Valverde is the player that you want playing for your club.
That's my number one player I would pick on the team sheet. Number one.
He'll play
He's number one.
You want him to.
I mean, listen, Manchester City's
favorite player on
Manchester City's wingers were troubling Real Madrid at some point. Not
Grealish.
Yeah, no.
Doku, yes.
No, Doku, I thought he did what he had to do.
Well,
he was cutting inside. He was beating players. He was swinging the crosses in. Listen, Manchester City's still going to be a problem in the next coming years. I only see these two. Sure. The next few Champions League is just going to be Real Madrid and Manchester City. Whoever wins that tie is going to win. That's the truth. That's what this game showed me. But Ancelotti is the better manager. He won. He was the difference maker. And Real Madrid won. And fair credit to them. I don't see any team beating them now.
No. No.
It's very difficult.
Bayern could if they have a bad game.
Yeah, no, but
Madrid for me. Madrid.
To close it out, I just want to say that game was a tough game. It was clear they're the two best teams. Going forward now, I think the Champions League now is just going to be a two-club race. That's what this showed me. I'm like, I don't see anything changing. If Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, I think it pretty much solidifies that. But yeah. We're all flabbergasted at
we're excited for the next
how football has changed, honestly.
Yeah.
But we'll see you next episode, guys. Once again, we'll be covering this all the time, all day, every day. We're back. We got Christian back. The Avengers have assembled. Pretty much. We got all of us. So tune into Europa League predictions. They'll be out.
Peace.
Take care.
I go pee.